Anxious to step through the gate again, Major?
Yes, I am.
We all are.
Would you like us to bring back anything special?
No thanks.
Groceries, new outfit, flatware?
No, just yourselves in one piece, please. Dial it up. Be safe.
Welcome to the Jumping Puddles podcast. Be sure to listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and or YouTube. And follow us at Jumping Puddles Podcast on Tumblr and Instagram. And Jumping Pudpud on Twitter. And if you want to support our podcast, please check out our coffee. Hi, I'm Sam, and with me are my fellow co-hosts, Tor and Ash.
Hey!
Hi.
And today we come with a special little mini, will probably not be mini, bonus episode. And we have Ash, who has just come back from Basingstoke in London, the Stargate convention, among other shows. And she'll be telling us all about her time. Welcome, Ash. How freaking was it?
I don't even know how to answer that. I want to put a little preface. So everything I'll be saying is like my experience or a few things that I've collected from friends or things that I heard, like either being said there or like a few things also like it's been around the internet now. So other people might have had completely different experiences, but yeah. So, Basingstoke Comic Con. It might have been the worst convention I've ever been to. Which is very sad, because this convention had the perfect chance to do something absolutely amazing and unique in light of the 20-year anniversary of Stargate Atlantis. Because they had virtually the whole cast, like main cast of Stargate Atlantis of all 5 seasons. The only 2 main characters that were missing, like main characters, were Jewel State and Robert Picardo. But of like the main lineup, they had like all like the main characters, like who were in the opening credits at some point. They were all there. Plus, David Nichol was there, and yeah, I think that's it. And yeah, I don't even know where to start. Like, I have some positive stuff, but maybe I'll do that in the end to just like lighten the mood, maybe. So I feel really bad for Basingstoke Comic Con, and I was like, even before, I was kind of afraid that they were trying to do too much because they had so many guests. They had Jason fucking Momoa, okay?
Huge.
They got Jason Momoa. He's huge. He's like the biggest, like, of all the people that were there. But what I keep forgetting, that I went there because of Stargate, mainly Stargate Atlantis. They also had some SG-1 people there. They had Richard Dean Anderson, Amanda Tapping, and Gary Jones, who was hosting the thing, basically. Like the panels and stuff. But what they also had were quite a few of Flag Means Death people, a few supernatural people, a few Harry Potter people, and one from The Hobbit. But they had like 4 main focuses, which was of Flag Means Death, Supernatural, Harry Potter, and the biggest one was probably Stargate. So they tried to do, I'm gonna say 2 to 4 conventions in one weekend. If you ever want to do a convention, please don't do that. It doesn't work. It will mess up everything. So what they did was that Friday was, the convention was for 3 days. And what they did is that on Friday they had mostly the Our Flag Means Death people. Like half the people who attended the con that they were in pirate costumes. That was really fun. And they had like most of the autographs and panels they had on Friday. They had a few of that on Saturday as well, because I think Rhys Darby was only there on Saturday or something. So they had a few photos, like group photos and panels maybe as well. He was only there Saturday. On Saturday as well, but most of that was on Friday. I can't really speak for what happened like for Friday, because I was just I can't really speak for the like Our Flag Means Death part because I haven't watched the show. I wasn't really involved. I had 2 friends who were there, but I think they were running around a lot. We're just trying to get everything. But yeah, it was just weird that because most people were in the country on Friday already from the Stargate cast, but they just weren't at the con, which is also fun. They could like see Stonehenge and shit.
They did too. Sorry to jump in, but there's that super cute video which I cried of David Blue and Alana Huffman and
Joe Flanagan and Paul McGillian, I
Yeah.
think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. It's the cutest little video.
Yeah.
And this just confirms. Wow, the fact that I literally said, I think before I said off air, but I was like, I need Joe and David to interact. I
Yeah.
was like, I need them because that's basically my John and Eli like moment. And so getting a little video of them was just so great. So I was like, this is gonna turn out so amazing. This weekend's gonna be the best. Only to my shock and horror. Continue.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe to round up the guest list. So we had almost everyone from Atlantis plus David Nichol. Then we had a few SG-1 people, Amanda Tapping, Richard Dean Anderson, and we had from Stargate Universe, David Blue and Elena Huffman. So we had all 3 Stargate shows represented at this convention. It could have been an amazing Stargate convention, but it wasn't because they were just trying too much. So, what went wrong? Everything?
Oh no.
So the convention was at a hotel, and they had a limited ticket, like a limited amount of tickets for each day and in total, which is smart because it was not a very big hotel. Also, it was not very that easy to get there. Like you had to with public transport, which was a little bit annoying, but I don't know, I guess it's just how it is sometimes. I was wondering, like, before the convention, I was wondering how they could manage to finance all that because they had so many guests and so many big guests with a limited amount of tickets that they could sell, but that's not my problem. I wonder if the convention will happen again. Honestly, I think they're planning on doing it, but I wonder how they, like, came out, like, money-wise in the end. First of all, it was pretty hot. Like, it was in May, in the beginning of, middle of May, and it was pretty warm, I'm gonna say, especially for the UK. There was no air conditioning.
Oh.
It was hell inside.
Oh.
Especially in the panel room and also in the autograph room. It was just really, really hot. What didn't help was that there was absolutely no organization when it came to queues for especially autographs. I heard that the photos were much better organized, at least the queues. There was one guy, which I'm supposed to give a shout out to, Nick with a stick, who was apparently on top of it all. He knew, he knew what was going on. He was organizing all the lines, and a few other people knew how to organize lines for the photos. But for the autographs, it was, especially on Saturday, it was a huge, huge mess because it was a pretty open space. There were but you couldn't see which line was for which person. So there was one big line. One big line to get into the autograph area. And even inside it was apparently super messy because there was just you didn't know where to wait for your autograph because it was just one big mess. So there were people waiting for, I don't know, the whole day to get their autographs and didn't get it.
Oh my god.
It was a mess. It was a tiny bit better on Sunday, because they at least had what do you call it? They were visible lines, I'm gonna say. Yeah,
those rope things?
Like rails?
Yeah, exactly. They had that, leading to the individual people. But the problem was getting into the autograph area, which was close to impossible. We went there because there were different autograph times for different groups. There was a Stargate A and the Stargate B group, where just different people were in, and when they weren't signing, they were at panels or having a break or whatever. So we were like, okay, let's try to get our autograph in the morning, or our autographs, plural, for a lot of people in the morning. And so we got into the queue, and we moved maybe, I don't know, 20 feet or something in like 2 hours. And they wouldn't just, I don't know, they must have let in a bunch of like, oh yeah, another thing. There were like, they had priority tickets, but I don't really know how they were trying, like they were letting them in, but somehow, I don't know how it was possible that the autograph line just didn't move. So, like, even if you had priority, I think you sometimes got in, but sometimes you didn't. But it was just all a big mess. Then we waited the whole morning, like I think 2 hours to get into the autograph area and didn't get in, and we were told to come back in the afternoon. It was like, fun, what if we don't get in then? A few were lucky. We got like a little post-it with a number on it because at that point we had like progressed a little bit further in the queue, and we were told to come back at like 2:30 or something, and we would get like in earlier. We came back in the afternoon. I think we waited another 2 hours, or maybe an hour to be let in and to actually get our autographs. Another thing where I'm divided whether it's cool or it's annoying is that I think I don't want to drag the staff because I truly believe that they did the best that they could with the little information and I want to say training that they were given. Because it seemed like the staff was very clueless in a lot of times. Didn't really know what was going on, what they were supposed to do, what they were allowed, what to tell people, because there was no information coming from the top. So they had to deal with a bunch of angry and getting angry fans. So I'm really sorry for her staff. I think apparently some of them were. I'm not sure about that, but apparently one was even like physically attacked or something.
Oh my god!
Please don't do that.
Oh.
Because just emotions were very like raging, I guess. Which is no excuse. Please don't attack staff people. They usually So that wasn't helping, and sometimes staff was also yelling at just people waiting in line or asking questions, because of course they were asked the same questions every 5 seconds, which is fucking annoying, and they didn't have a break, and it was hot, and they probably hadn't eaten in a while, which shouldn't have happened with like better organization. Oh, another thing, Basingstoke, sorry, this is all over the place right now, but that's very in tone for the convention. Basingstoke released a statement a few days after the convention, which I'm gonna link because I think it should be read. Like, if you want to know what Basingstoke view and the whole thing is, like the Basingstoke, the convention released a statement, and they were saying, oh yeah, a third of the staff didn't show up. What happened after they said that was that a bunch of former staff people said, oh, we were told not to come in. So,
bye.
Huh.
I don't know. Another thing that didn't help with like the queuing for the autographs or like in general was that Jason Momoa was only there for 1 day, which was announced like, I don't know if it was announced on the day or maybe the week before the convention, but usually initially he was supposed to be there for both, like for Saturday and Sunday, but then he was only there on Saturday, which everyone was confused, but that meant that everyone who wanted to see Jason fucking Momoa was there on Saturday.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Yeah. What's also kind of ironic and kind of sad is that before the convention, Basingstoke was making all these promises about like, oh, we're a small convention, we have a lot of time, we're gonna want to make it really chill for everyone. You don't have to queue a lot. I think time everyone spent at Basingstoke was queuing because like the queues were not moving. But everything that they had planned didn't work out. They blame it on the staff that didn't show up. But as I just said, it's kind of murky what happened there.
Huh.
Yeah.
You think maybe it was like a money thing? Like they wanted to save like a dime and thought, oh, like we can run this on skeleton staff, and then really regretted their decision afterward? Or
I honestly don't know. I know that some conventions also use like volunteers, but they didn't. They praised themselves with not using volunteers, but people they pay, which is also cool. But yeah, one person was like, when Kit basically was yelled at by our staff because they sat down in queue and were yelled at, and they were like, okay, I was supposed to just like collapse in the queue. Like, I don't know. There was a yeah.
Yikes.
I want to say though that I had a few really nice interactions with staff. To me they were usually really nice, and I tried to be nice to them as well because I knew how stressed they were. But another thing is that some of them didn't know who the guests were. So there was one instant where Amanda tried to get back from the panel to the autograph room and was told by the staff to queue to get in. It was like, no.
Oh my god.
I'm one of the guests. My picture's there on the wall. And a bit later I was asking, because sometimes when we were waiting for the autographs, the guests would just leave because they had either a photo or a panel, which is the schedule. There was no schedule. Like, there was one, but it was never right. And I asked one of the staff if I think it was about Elena. I was asking if Elena Huffman would come back. I was like, oh, I'm gonna text someone and then let you know. And she did let me know she was coming back. But like, I don't think she knew who I was talking about, because she asked like 3 times about the name of Elena, and I don't even know if she got it right.
Oh my god. I
just feel really bad for the staff, because I don't know where things went wrong there. But I really, really believe they were trying their best, and they were just all at their limit, with like the heat, the billion people, the lack of organization and info and everything. Another thing that was kind of sad was I went to a meet and greet with Tori. Which was fun. It was really cool. We were like it was a nice group and like not too many people. Oh, I also heard like for the Amanda meet and greet there were like 25 people at the meet and greet, and it was apparently super crowded and not that fun. Usually the meet and greets were capped at I think 20 people, but somehow 25 got in. However that happened. Yeah, our meet and greet with Tori, it started a little bit late and then was cut short. So we should have had 30 minutes, and I think it was like 20. So there was just a lot of stuff that was just not working out.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
No, I just have a question, because
Yes.
I'm scared to know the answer, because I was like, oh my god, was there a panel like with the whole Atlantis cast?
Funny you should ask.
Oh no.
So in the schedule, it said like there were panels. It said like sometimes it said like Stargate panel or like SG1 panel or Atlantis panel. On Sunday, it just said a huge block was just Stargate, and it was like, okay. There were no individual panels, so it was only group panels, which I thought was a little bit sad, because like usually like what I'm used to at conventions is that there are panels for each actress for themselves, and then group panels if there are like multiple people of the same show. There were only group panels for as far as I know. So they had the complete Atlantis cast, right? And what do you think, like, from what I've told you so far? Do you think they got them all together at the stage at some point?
Oh no.
My god.
Yeah. So they had it, they split them up. So we had one panel with Tori, Paul McGillian, David Nichol, and Rainbow Sun Franks, I think. I could be wrong. But I think it was them. And it was fun. It was just cute. They're just fun. And then there was a second panel with David Hewlett, Joe Flanagan, Rachel Luttrell, and I think that was the panel where Jason joined later, but he was late because like either autographs or photos, because the schedules didn't work out. But yeah, no, there was no panel with all of them together.
That's such a wasted opportunity. It's very rare, I've heard, that the entire Atlantis cast can make it to a single convention. And so to have them all, not only AR1, but also the rest of the expedition, like Zelenka, Elizabeth, and Carson, and then you separate them? You don't have a panel with all of them? That's so...
Yeah.
I'm speechless. I would have literally like rained hell on this earth. Because how do you have the entire Atlantis cast in the 20th year anniversary is coming up, July 16, and you don't have them do a single panel together?
Ugh.
What's wrong with them?
Yeah. Haha. Also, another thing. There was an Ultimate Stargate photo with all the Stargate guests on it.
Oh my god.
Supposedly.
Oh my god.
So I think there were like 13 or something.
Wait, how do you time
Mitch
that?
Pileggi. Oh, they did those in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Like before anything else starts. But guess what?
Oh no.
So they had like a bunch of people and they announced them as Stargate guests. And then in the photo, I have one friend who was also at the convention who's a huge Elena Huffman fan. And she had also the Ultimate Stargate photo. And she got to the photo and she was like, where the fuck is Elena Huffman? They forgot to tell her.
Oh my god.
Elena wasn't there for the photo for all of Saturday, I think. For like the big photo. Which is a crime on so many levels. But especially because it's Stargate Universe. And Stargate Universe is so underrepresented. Probably a bunch of people don't care. But I care a lot, and it's just so fucking disrespectful that they just didn't tell her. I think she wasn't picked up from the hotel. A friend of her, like, had to drive her to, like, the hotel, the con hotel.
Okay.
So that was one. And also, Mitch Pileggi Caldwell wasn't in the Stargate photo neither on Saturday or on Sunday. Although it said so on the website, although he was announced as a Stargate guest, but they said no, he's a Supernatural guest. That's why he's not in it.
That's so dumb.
No.
He's there anyway? Oh my god.
Exactly. Yeah. So 1 to 2 people were missing from the Ultimate photo.
I'm sorry. That... Not the universe disrespect continuing in the year of our Lord 2024. Please. Oh my god, I'm gonna be so pissed. That's crazy. That is so evil. And the fact they didn't even pick her up. Are you?
Yeah, that's yikes. And like, imagine being these actors and actresses like coming to this convention. Like, if this does not turn you off from like going to conventions in the future because it's so unorganized and so crazy and chaotic, like, I don't even know. It's so terrible.
Yeah.
We're never gonna get this cast in the same room ever again.
God.
No. I have to say, the guests were so fucking nice. They were
Good.
The guests were all super nice. Some of them looked so tired at some point during because of course they were just like shoved around basically from one appointment to the next, and then schedules would change. They wouldn't be like someone didn't let them back into the autograph room. It's so ridiculous to me. Like, but how does that happen? Like, to confuse a star with like a guest. Anyways, so I think some of them were really, really tired. But like, to the people that I talked to, which was Tori, Rachel briefly, because I just accompanied a friend then to her when she got her autographs. I got gifted a Rainbow Sun Frank's autograph like last minute, so I met him as well. And so I think all people who spoke out after Basingstoke about the convention were still grateful and still had a good time, like from the guests. But obviously, David Blue, I feel so bad for this guy. He's a very outspoken guy, and I think he talked a lot about like things that went wrong. He made a few posts, I think on Facebook, maybe Instagram as well, saying about things that went wrong. Mentioned that he kept coming back for people who didn't get their photo because of like a misschedule or whatever. He came back to do the double photos with Elena. Also, what the fuck is wrong with people? he's a very careful guy when it comes to like health stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He always wore a mask, which you should respect. But apparently, because after the convention, a bunch of people got back with COVID, obviously, because that's still not over. Not only did Basingstoke, I don't know if COVID is just over for everyone, but Basingstoke didn't say anything about that. Not like, oh, maybe test yourself when you get back or something. But apparently there were people who were accusing David Blue of being patient zero because he wore a mask to protect himself from COVID. Which is like, what is going on in people's brains with like... So I think he got a lot of heat. And he was so... I think he and Elena especially were so annoyed by the event organizers because they said stuff, but
Rightfully.
Basingstoke just didn't react to anything.
Wow.
Oh, I'm pissed. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go on a huge rant. Okay, I actually did see on Instagram like one of those days, a few days after, because I was like checking like his profile because I had like liked the video that he had put up of him, you know, and Joe and everyone. And so I had seen some stuff that he was sort of like fighting with people like on his story, like with people, but he was saying like, you know, like stop spreading rumors about me and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, this is so weird. But I didn't know it was partly because he was like just openly, you know, voicing his displeasure with the convention. And the fact that people have the audacity, oh my god, the fact that people have the audacity to give him so much hate for speaking up about it, one, which anyone should because it was not run well, clearly, and two, for being careful in a pandemic. You guys are out of your fucking minds. Also, I don't think it's a coincidence that the two people from Universe were treated like absolute garbage. Not only from the fucking convention, but also from the fans. Like, fuck you guys. You think if, like, Michael Shanks or, like, Amanda Tapping said something, people wouldn't be, like, crawling up and being like, oh my god, you're so right, I had a terrible time. Or, like, don't worry, like, yeah, you weren't the patient zero. Like, fuck you guys. Like, it's literally just because they were two of, like, lesser actors from a show you deem as lesser when it's really fucking not. So get off your fucking high horse and stop yelling at actors over something that wasn't even in their control and getting upset when someone is speaking up for you. Are you like stupid? Like he was literally saying like people deserve better. Like what's wrong with you?
He was not only was he doing that, but also he just at some point he decided to just like fuck the schedule, and he was setting up his own autograph table because it was like there were people who wanted his autograph and didn't get it because they weren't there in time, so he just set it up himself. Fine. And apparently he was one of the nicest people, like from the friends that I heard of who met him. He was like just the nicest, and like he talked about his dog and stuff, and he had like little you are here, like the red like the t-shirt that he wore, he had like little pins. He was wearing the t-shirt, I think. I'm gonna cry. During one of his autograph sessions. He is honestly, I think he's one of the nicest people if you get to meet him. But also he doesn't take any shit. So if you treat him like shit, he will fight back as he should.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm about to cry.
So,
He's
I heard
so sweet. I'm so upset.
Yeah.
For him and Alana, like I'm pissed for them.
Yeah. There's one thing where the convention, like, it's not the fault of the convention, but another thing where I was just absolutely, for a moment, I was ashamed to be a fan.
Oh no, I don't know if I want to hear this. Oh
I'm
gosh,
afraid.
I don't want the secondhand embarrassment.
Okay, so it was during one of the Stargate Atlantis panels where Jason Momoa joined.
Fuck.
I think you know where this is going.
No, I hope not.
So there were I actually forget who was on the stage, but it was David Hewlett, Joe Flanagan, Rachel Luttrell, and then Jason Momoa, who he came in later. I don't really want to talk about it, but I think I have to because people don't do that. So one woman comes up, gets to the microphone, which is also all weird, and like the organization of that. And I think she starts with, "You're so handsome," or something. I was like, oh yeah, this is for Jason. I was like, oh, he's so handsome, and he has one question that she bets like everyone is like just burning to ask: is he single?
What?
And Jason, very calmly, very nicely said, no, he's very much in a relationship. Do you think she stopped?
Oh God.
She could. I don't remember exactly what she asked. She continued to ask, but something, and he's like, yeah, he's usually a very private person, and like he doesn't like to talk about that stuff a lot, but because like earlier, like a few years ago, nobody really cared about it, and he enjoyed it a lot actually, but now obviously because he's a public figure, it will come it always like a topic, and it will probably become like there will be an announcement soon. I think he handled it so well, considering how weird the question was and how weirdly it was phrased. But also, what are you thinking? Like, what do you expect to happen if you go to the stage? Not only do you ignore like 3 other people on stage completely, I felt it's. And then you ask the most invasive questions and don't leave them alone, even after they say that a very private, like a private person who likes if their privacy is respected. What do you expect to happen? Do you expect him, even if he had said no, what do you think would happen with, oh, you want to go to my hotel room? What?
Oh my God.
So that was one. A few people later, a woman gets up.
Oh no!
Oh
Please,
no, more?
Jason,
please, I
you
can't
just
hear
have
you
to
more.
say,
Oh,
you're so sexy. I don't even know if there was a question. And like that's how she started. And I felt I was so disgusted because again, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Why do you have to be like that? What do you get from that? Where is also the fucking double standard? Can you imagine a guy getting up and going to the microphone going, Rachel, you're so sexy?
No.
Yeah, I was so fucking ashamed to be a fan and to be in that room and to be like, to hearing these people saying these things publicly to a person. I felt so uncomfortable for everyone, like for the people on stage, for the guests, for Jason, for the people, like the other cast members, because like, yes, it's Jason Momoa, I get it, he's hot. But it felt so disrespectful, not only for Jason as like a person, but also like for the rest of the cast, and just like it felt me feel so icky as a fan. And I was like, I hope you don't think like, and I get like Jason doesn't go to a lot of conventions. I wonder why.
Oh boy.
yeah. I was gonna say, not gonna lie. When I first heard that Jason was announced, I immediately was worried because, not like because of him, obviously. Like he seems great, whatever. It's more so just about like, I think he's reached like that level of fame where it's like you have a lot of like weird fucking fans. I think he has a lot of weird fucking fans, that don't really have a lot of, don't really know where the boundary is and like how to behave normally.
Oh.
A lot of them are like quite delusional and quite in love with him, right? So I was a little worried because I was like, oh god, like I hate that.
Yeah. And
Everyone
you
had
were
to deal with
right.
that. Everyone had to.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I hate that. I
Yeah.
hate that I was right.
Yeah.
I always wonder at conventions, like, I really feel like there should be a question vetting process. Like, people need to be stopped before they go to the mic and, like, what is your question before you say it out loud, like, and harass somebody who's on stage, you know what I mean? Because sometimes things people say, this isn't the first time I've heard, like, someone ask a really offside question or not even ask a question at a convention. And it not only is terrible for the guest who has to answer and is put on the spot in front of all these people, but it's also terrible for the people in the audience who are subjected to the secondhand cringe. But also, they're there to hear about the show or the character, and they want to know, like, information about it because they're really passionate about it because that's why they paid money to come to the convention. So it's kind of taking away from somebody who could be asking a more appropriate or topical question, just taking away time from the panel in general for something that is so, like, you can tweet that, or you can tell your friend that personally, that you find Jason Momoa attractive. You don't need to go up in front of him in a whole room of people and declare it out loud. That is not the venue for that.
It was not just the way not just the words that they chose, but also just the way it was said. It was like the innuendo was there, and
no.
Yuck. Well, I wanted to ask, were there any good moments from that panel, or any of the Atlantis panels?
Actually, yeah, the panels themselves were really, really fun. Like, obviously they were very different because, like, they were different, like, the groups were different, but both were really fun. And, like, just the dynamics were really, like, especially with the AR1 one, there was something that Jason said, which was so sweet. He was like, yeah, it's like, for him, Atlantis was like like college. I was like, oh my god, this is his college reunion.
That's so cute.
And they had a very, I don't know, I felt like a very sibling relationship, all of them. They were just poking fun at each other. Yeah, that was really nice. And and also with the other panel with Tori, Paul, David Nicol, and Rainbow. It's really sweet. They were just like, they feel like they were very like physical people who like to like show stuff physically. Like they were like performing how they didn't know what to do, how to like shake in a jumper or whatever. So there was fun stuff like that. I think the panels have been filmed and should be on YouTube. I can try to find the link and maybe link them in the show notes. Yeah, that was really fun. Also, on Sunday there was a panel with, trying to think, they had, I might have told a little bit of bullshit earlier, but because they had a bunch of Stargate, like of Atlantis people, but Jason wasn't there anymore. But I think they had maybe all the others, but Rainbow was late again, so yeah. They had like most of the Atlantis cast in one panel at least, but it was super short again. And to my little stupid Halabeth shipping heart was very, very happy because Tori and Rachel sat next to each other, and I was like, okay, I'm happy now. I want to say, I know those are the actresses and not the characters. I know that, and I don't ship them as like, but it was still like, it was a nice picture. I appreciated that.
That's all we wanted. Honestly, the picture.
Yeah,
that's all we need.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, that was really fun. Yeah, the panels that I saw were really fun. There was also I can't remember which panels we had. I missed all the SGU panels, which is sad.
Oh no.
Yeah, but again, it was such a mess with all the schedules and the changes and the delays. So yeah. It was kind of sad. There was another thing that I really liked about the convention, and it might have been the best thing about the convention for me, was that the companion was there. I don't know if you know about that. It's like I don't even know how to describe it, but they do a lot of like fan news or like articles about like Stargate, Star Trek, I think even Farscape. Just a bunch of different sci-fi shows. They have interviews, and they recently started this, not recently, it's been a while now. They started this thing which they call Embracing Mental Health as a Fandom. And they have talks with, it started with Amanda Tapping, but they also had Tara Rothery, and I think Michelle Hurd from Star Trek, and they're continuing with Amanda Tapping. Where they talk about mental health and just like raising of awareness about mental health and how fandom has helped people, and in general, just like, yeah, trying to open up the conversation about mental health. And they had like a little, I think, unofficial booth at the convention. And I don't know, it was kind of a hub of like just calmness. I felt like I felt safer for some reason, or better because they were there, even though I didn't really talk to them. It's also the mental health thing is run by or hosted a lot of times by Rebecca something, and they're a part of Three Fries Short, which is another Stargate podcast.
Oh.
I'm just gonna give them a shout out here. Yeah, and I don't know. They had a panel with like the companion people and with Amanda Tapping about mental health, and it was really, I don't know. I am very grateful that they were there because again I felt like they were like this the eye of the storm kind of. They were like this little calm spot, like for me at least, in like this whole chaos of a convention, and I'm really glad that they were there. And I feel a little bit as if the companion is kind of becoming a new home for Stargate right now. I could be wrong about that, but they're doing a lot with the fandom. Also with Brett Wright, they did the whole Stargate AI thing like a while back with Brett Wright. Oh, Brett Wright was there. I forgot about that. Yeah. So that was cool. I'm thinking of what else to include. There are a few just like fun little moments that happened. A lot of time was just like hanging out like outside the hotel, just like in the shade, because I didn't really have a lot to do. I only had like my autograph, my photo, and my meet and greet with Tori. I met a bunch of people who I had known like online, like a few people from Instagram who I hadn't met before, a few people from Tumblr, which was wild, but also really, really fun. And I think that's what really made this convention good. It's really weird because like the convention itself was terrible. Like it was really, really, really bad. But I still came back kind of happy because I was there with a group of friends and we had been to a convention last year. And it was almost the same group of people, and we all came together. Most of us were from Germany, but not all of them. And we all met again, and like we didn't hang out all the time, but we met like in different constellations throughout the days. And we had dinner once, all of us together, and it was just really amazing just to hang out with the friends again, and then to meet new people, and also meet new people at the convention, or like meet people that you saw at a convention 6 years ago.
Holy.
So that was really, really amazing, and I'm really happy for that. So in that way, I don't regret going. I'm just so sad that the convention itself was so bad, and I wonder. I think like they send out a call for feedback, or at least they were saying that they were reading all the feedback, and they want to give refunds. I don't know if they are going to follow through with all of that. I don't know if this convention is going to happen again. But I heard no one I talked to or that I overheard, no one, like everyone was saying, I'm never coming to this convention again.
Aww.
And it's so sad, again, because they had the perfect opportunity to make something really, really great for Stargate. People continue to underestimate Stargate and Stargate fans. They think Stargate is not the big thing. They mess up every time.
We're still here.
We're still here. We're crazy. We will pay a lot of money. Don't underestimate us. Every convention, FedCon couldn't really handle the Stargate fans last year. Paris Manga couldn't really handle them last year. Although Paris Manga is always a mess, I've heard. And Basingstoke just completely underestimated the Stargate fans. So, to any convention who's listening, please don't underestimate us. We're gonna run your doors.
Small but dedicated.
Yes.
Yes.
But not that small. That's the thing. We're not that small.
Not that small in Europe. Not that small in Europe.
Yeah.
For sure.
There was apparently there was a convention. There's a convention in Belgium, and they had Christopher Judge, I think this year, and we're trying to and someone was texting me with them. I was like, oh please, like after the convention, I was like, oh please don't like please can you invite the Stargate? Like, I think they were asking for Tori Higgins, and I'm like, hey, can you please invite Tori, but also careful, don't underestimate Stargate people, because, like, Stargate guests, because they are pretty popular. And they were like, oh yeah, we noticed with Christopher Judge, and we won't do the same mistake again. So, this is happening again and again. That, like, people invite Stargate guests, and it's always like, oh, nobody wants to see them, but it's not true.
Surprise, motherfucker! They're fucking alive in Europe. I gotta give praise to Europeans. Shout out to the friends across the pond. They love Stargate, and I love that, because it is like, you'd think it'd be like, oh, because, you know, it's such like an American-based-esque type of show where, like, they just seem like they're all Americans, kind of, although they're not really. They're fucking Canadians, but whatever. You'd think that they're most, you know, they'd be more popular in America, but nope.
Yeah.
Europeans, man. They fucking love Stargate.
Yeah.
Great.
There's a huge following in France, I think. I think also Germany and Czech Republic.
I wonder why.
David Nickel. He's their hero.
Mm-hmm.
He was at a convention, I think, last month, or like in April maybe, and like he was the most popular guy there. He was in Prague, and like, because like he speaks Czech, obviously, so his panel, it's just
so cute.
Yeah, he's like the star there. Oh no,
he deserves it.
David Hewlett, also apparently one of the nicest people. I'm a bit sad that I didn't get to meet him, but he was just like, with the Instagram folks that I met, apparently he talked like 10 minutes with them about dogs or something.
Oh.
A lot of the Stargate guests are dog people. It's hilarious. Tori is a huge dog person, like she loves a dog. David Blue, David Hewlett. I mean, Joe Flanagan is also a dog parent.
I was gonna say he's a dog.
Yeah,
but representation. We're the cat people in Stargate.
Jewel is the cat person of Stargate. Yeah, but also like Rick, I think it's becoming a running gag that Richard Dean Anderson is always getting distracted by dogs. Like, I feel like at every convention there are photos of him petting a dog. There was one point, I wasn't at the panel, but I think he went off stage to pet a dog in the audience. He just lay down on the floor and petted the dog. Another thing I need to add, Richard Dean Anderson is a fucking national treasure. He signs very, very slowly. And he was signing autographs on Saturday, I think, until 11 p.m. and on Sunday until 2 a.m. in the fucking morning.
Holy cow!
Because he was determined to give everyone who waited an autograph.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Wait, please don't make him do that ever again.
Yeah, but he's a hero for that.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
Wow.
That was, I was gonna say that earlier, but then I forgot. But it's true they didn't rush you, like, through the autographs. You had, like, time to talk. And as I said, like, David Hewlett took, like, 10 minutes to talk about dogs. A lot of people, you could talk to them a long time. And they took their time with you. Richard Dean Anderson took his time with every person. But also he's one of the most popular actors ever at any convention that I've ever been to. I think he was, like, number 2 for like this convention, like next, like after Jason Momoa, who just signs. Obviously, he's like very quick. He's a pro. He's like, I think for him it's just like, yeah, he knows what he's doing. But Rick really takes his time, and he's extremely popular. And yeah, so he stayed until like 2 a.m. on.
Holy cow!
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. But what I wanted to say that I'm starting to understand why sometimes you are a bit rushed during autographs, and I think you shouldn't be rushed too much, but I think there's depending on how many people are waiting or like are in line, you should try, like, also from the side of the staff to like maybe tell the actor go a little bit, like, it feels rude saying that. And I think they tried that with Rick, and Rick was just completely unbothered.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like the time.
But I think also with the Pirates on Friday, there were people, like, there was a guy one of the actors took like also like 10 minutes with every person. And I think that's difficult if there are like a lot of people waiting. If there's no one in line, or if there are like 10 people, you can talk for like a few minutes. I'm fine with that. I like that. I like the friend, or like when I got my autograph with Tori, we also talked for a little bit. And later there was no one waiting, and we went back because we wanted to say something else.
Oh, cute!
Yeah, a friend of mine got adopted by Tori, by the way.
Oh.
What?
Okay, so we were at a meet and greet, and it was really sweet, and everyone was super nice, and it was really cool. It was a nice group, and like it didn't feel like anyone was like dominating the conversation. Everyone or like most people who wanted to say something could say something, share a little bit, but I felt like nobody was really oversharing. Tori was really like happy that we were there. Everyone was huge Elizabeth Weir fans. It was very fun, just a good vibe. And I don't know what happened, but at some point Tori was like, I'm adopting all of you. And that kind of stuck to my friend and me, and we're like, that's funny. And then my friend was like, it would be funny if I gave her like an adoption paper, like a fake adoption paper to sign. And she did, and Tori signed it. Yeah. And then she got also an autograph on her fan art, on her Taylor Swift fan art, I want to add. And Tori wrote something like, to my very, or like, your very talented daughter or something.
Oh, that's so cute!
Wait, I'm gonna cry. Wait, what did you say? We saw the Taylor Beth? Or she was just like,
oh, it's cool because I think, so my friend drew this, I'm gonna link that as well.
Yes, do it.
Do this after FedCon 2022 when Tori and Rachel were there. And so it's Taylor and Elizabeth fighting, like doing like martial arts, I guess.
Yeah.
And my friend posted it, and Tori saw it then and commented also on it. And I think she recognized it when she gave it to her to sign, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't get to show it to Rachel." I was like, "Oh, please show it to Rachel." I mean, she also gave it to Rachel to sign, so she has it now signed by both of them.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So she really liked
Rachel
it.
say anything about it? Or were they just like
I
happy?
I don't remember. I don't remember, but it was funny because at that moment I was just tagging along with like my friend because like why not, if I get to like be in the presence of like Rachel Luttrell or Elena Huffman for that matter, I'm gonna take it.
Hell yeah.
And my friend tried to explain why she or how it came that she drew that fan art, and she just blanked. Like her brain just stopped functioning for a second.
Oh, no.
I was like, she was just like standing there. I was like, should I take over? And she was like, So I explained the whole thing because I was so chill. I don't know why, but I was really, really chill this time around when it came to like talking to the actors, which was really nice for a change. So yeah, I think she also liked it. Yeah.
That's so cute. You're getting to be an expert now.
Great.
I am. Yeah. Oh, another thing I have to add is that I don't remember if it was Saturday. I think it was on Saturday. I was just like going to Tesco, like a supermarket in the UK, and to get some food. And I was like texting my group, and I was like, "Oh, does anyone need anything?" And someone was like, "Can you bring us a lemon?" I was like, "Sure." And another person was like, "Oh yeah, can you bring me one too?" I was like, "Can you use the same lemon?" I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." So I think 3 or 4 of my friends had a photo with David Hewlett. So 3 or 4 people had... Wait. They're so silly as well, and he as well. Like... Yeah, so long story short, a few of my friends got photos with a lemon and David Hewlett, and all of the photos are amazing. They're so fucking funny, because he's always making a face. Okay, it was... Lucy went first and gave and then gave the lemon to Miller, which is, like, old friends of mine. They was like, "Didn't you bring your own lemon?" And then I think Miller gave it to him to hold it during the photo, and then told it to pass it to Elizabeth. So a friend of mine was dressed as Elizabeth.
Oh.
And he was then apparently just jokingly like, again? And then, like, my friend who was dressed as Elizabeth walked away, but there was still another person who still also wanted a photo with the lemon, so they called her back and was like, no, and he was again like really annoyed at this point, like find out, like, really? Again? So we're just like 4 people in a row all taking a photo with the lemon. Yeah.
That's funny.
That is, whoever came up with that idea, genius. Absolutely. Perfect photo op.
Oh yeah, I got selfies with Rainbows and Franks, which is also really cool. I got gifted an autograph. Because like everyone was queuing for ages. A lot of people who had like the Stargate package were just like, fuck this, I'm not gonna get all the autographs, I don't want to queue anymore.
Right.
So someone was just giving it away. I was like,
hell yeah.
So I just went up to him and I didn't really talk a lot. I ended up asking how the people were doing because I felt it was Sunday evening. I was like, everyone is stressed. I don't really care. I didn't really have the need to like talk, like tell them about me right now. So I'm just gonna ask them how they were doing, which is nice. And he was super nice, and I saw like a few people in front of me were taking a selfie, and there were 3 guys, and they were taking like over the table. So I was like, that's how we would do it. But he actually got up and like put his arm around me, and I got some really nice selfies with him.
That's so cute.
It was just really cool because now I have like this little moment, and I don't know when I would have gotten a chance to like meet him again. So that was really cool.
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's so great.
And he's nice. He's also just really nice. And he was kind of also, I think, like just a jokester. Like during one of the panels, he was like, it was him who was walking like through the audience and like picking out the people who wanted to ask questions because there wasn't really a system how to like ask questions. You raised your hand and someone came to hand you a mic, or sometimes you stood there in front of the mic. And there he just took over and he was just like doing it himself.
Aww.
Yeah. Fun guy.
I love that.
That's cool.
Well, thank you so much for coming on here, Ash, and giving us a comprehensive review, good and bad, of this convention. Convention people should take notes for how to run conventions from this episode. Because Ash is the convention god. So
excellent title.
I know. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We had a blast. And one day, again, we have to, it's on like on the bucket list. Like, we're going to do it. We're going to go to a convention together. And we're going to take pictures with whoever we want. David Blue. And like other cast members. Yeah. David Hewlett, cough, cough. We're saying it on air, so people like will yell at us and people will hold us accountable. But we will go to a convention together one day.
Yes.
Yeah. One of us has to, like, at least one of us has to cross the pond for that, unfortunately. But
yeah,
we'll make it.
We'll do it.
Everything that Ash talked about will be linked in the description notes down below. I forgot what needed to be linked, but things will be linked in the description box down
All
below.
the things.
All the things. Everything.
And thank you for listening to this little mini, not mini bonus.
Mini.
Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, you clowns, listen up. I don't often get a chance to say this, so savor it. Good work, boys and girls. Let's go home.